Hello, everybody. Welcome to Don't Stop Sport. This is my reaction for the Ronaldo interview. Okay, so first of all, before I even start this, I'm not gonna react or I'm not gonna really comment on everything that he said. I mean, obviously, as you know, there are two parts to the interview. I did want to react to this, and I will react to it, and then I will put it to bed. Don't worry, I'm not gonna talk about this for the next few days after this. All I just wanted to say are some bits that I wanted to react to, which got me emotional, which got me thinking. I'm not going to talk about everything, like I said, because the interview is on YouTube. You can watch it for yourself. I just want to react to some things that really, stuck home to me because obviously, guys, as you know, I am a Man United fan, and there are some things in that interview which he said which I agree with, which I could be like, okay, I see where you're coming from. And then there are things where I'm just like, oh my God. But it's not really on Ronaldo, in my opinion. It's just, I think, let me just get straight to it. So, I'm just gonna touch on things briefly. Just Ragnick, Glazers, Ten Hag, him, and the football club. And then afterwards, trust me, I'm done. Okay, don't worry. I always talk about Man United all the time, but you guys never say shit to me. So obviously, I'll just talk about my own football club, and then I'll move on to the World Cup tomorrow. But the one thing about that interview, okay, is that okay, is the thing that pissed me off the most about that interview, is it's not even the fact that he did an interview. Like, I'm actually happy he did it, because a lot of people aren't. I'm happy. Like, I'm actually happy that a player who is under contract at Manchester United is doing an interview and is actually being openly honest about what is happening. And we've had many players, we've had many agents, many managers, Mourinho, Zlatan, I think Ralph Ragnick did it. We've had a lot of people come out after they've left United and they've lambasted United, they've criticized them, but it's never happened when a player is under contract and has done this. It's normally when they leave. I'm actually happy that's happened because it's not something that I'm surprised that what he said is happening at the football club. It's just really refreshing to hear it from someone who's actually there and not hear it from speculation from the fans and having to figure out what's going on, because really, like, some of the things that he did say were spot on, and some of the things he said are, you've got to question. It makes me question about the modern footballer. Like, for instance, Ragnick. I really hate the reputation that Ralph Ragnick has around the footballing world. Like, he's just been dragged around them. His name has been dragged around the mud, not only in this interview, but in general. Like, he's made to seem like he's the worst coach. Like, he even said that, he's not even Ralph Ragnick is not even a coach. Why would Manchester United, a big club like this, bring a person in like that? And it makes you question the modern footballer. It makes me question the modern footballer. Like, do these guys actually watch football like we do? Like, does he know who Ralph Ragnick is? Like, does he know that Jurgen Klopp's style of football is influenced, because of Ralph Ragnick? Does he know that Ten Hag? Does he know that Nagelsmann, Pep, all these people are influenced by Ralph Ragnick? Like, I'm trying to get the words out because I'm really just pissed off with what he said. I'm pissed off about a lot of things, but like, that really, it really stuck to me. Like, how could you lambast Ralph Ragnick? And can I just say, okay, Ralph Ragnick came in the football club. He didn't even make a bloody signing in January. He had to carry on with the shit that he was given by Oli. And the way they spoke about Oli and the way they spoke about Ragnick, it's like, Oli was a shit coach, guys. He might be a good person, but he was a shit coach. And it's made to seem like he was good. They didn't say he was bad because it was very obvious that, like, he's trying to protect his mate. And it's like, but it's easy to slate Ralph Ragnick because it's like, it's a thing of about, people didn't know who he was when he came to United. So it's like, okay, if you've been in high school and in prep school, if you have an interim teacher and you don't know them and you sense weakness, it's easy to go on them than the teacher that you know, because you don't know that interim teacher. So obviously, when you sense blood, you will go in on them in some ways, and that's what the players at Man United did last season by leaking against him, by undermining him. And it's very obvious, and it's evident in that interview, yesterday, especially part one. how he spoke about Ralph Ragnick. I think it's disgusting how Ralph Ragnick is made, to look like in the footballing world. I genuinely think, guys, he's not a bad coach. I just think that United just have shit players with shit attitude who think they've made it in life, who think everything is on a plate to them. I mean, I even heard that sometimes even players, the board even asks the players about certain issues. I wouldn't ask these players what toilet paper to buy. I wouldn't even ask these players what packet of sweets to buy at a shop. That's how much I don't like these players. But anyway, the Ralph Ragnick comments pissed me off. It really did piss me off. It's not only in the interview, but it's just how Ralph Ragnick is made, you know, is made his image in the media. Like Piers Morgan. I mean, Piers Morgan saying like, oh, who is he? I mean, I'll get to Piers Morgan later on, but like, really, the things he said about Ten Hag, in my opinion, okay, that's the Ralph Ragnick stuff. Ralph Ragnick, he came in the club, he literally didn't do well, okay, but because you cannot give a manager players that failed under a previous manager and you don't give him a transfer window to get his own players. So now it's like he's stuck with the shit players that are then saying he's shit because it's a mess. It's like you have a group of players. These players think you're shit, but it's like I didn't buy you, I didn't coach you, I don't want you here, but yet I'm made to seem like I'm the problem, even though you guys were playing shit under Oli, losing 5-0, 2-0, 4-2, getting smacked up by Liverpool, Man City, Leicester, Watford, playing crap football before he came, and yet he's the fault. It's made to seem like he's the problem. Like, what was that all about? It's like, guys, Ralph Ragnick was the best thing to ever happen to Manchester United. I don't care what any Man United fan says or anyone says. He was the best thing that has ever happened to this football club. Maybe on the footballing pitch it was a disaster, but that was not because of him. The disaster was written even before he came. I don't want people rewriting history about Ralph Ragnick saying he was shit. He's not shit. We just have shit players. That's the thing. Anyway, the Glazers. I don't even want to talk too much about the Glazers. It's pretty obvious because he did say in his interview that, look, the Glazers don't care about the football club. Yay, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's very nice to hear someone who actually is under contract at that football club saying it. Not when he's left 2-3 years ago and then he says it. It's nice when he's there and he says it, even though it's obvious. I could say to Ronaldo that, look, dude, surely you should have done your research before you came to the football club, because everyone knew that United were not on the good, or not the same as they were when you were at United back in your first time. But anyway, he made that mistake and he's here. But I'm happy that he came to Manchester United. But yeah, I'm not gonna go on about the cases. I go on about them all the time. The Ten Hag stuff, I mean, was really interesting because what I got out of it, because he said that he doesn't respect Ten Hag doesn't respect him. Look, what I got out of that, you might have a different take. What I got out of that is that it's kind of like, look, I respect you, but then there were certain things that you did on a footballing level, not as a human level, but there's certain things that you did on a footballing level, like i.e. say that you didn't bring me on against Manchester City because we were 6-3 down and you want to respect my career, but it's like, dude, just bring me on. I kind of felt disrespected like that. It was we were cool, but now we're not cool anymore type of thing. That's the energy I get between Ten Hag and Ronaldo. I feel like there's something going on there behind the scenes that obviously he didn't say everything, but I think it's that type of disrespect. I don't think it's like, Ten Hag is a shit coach, he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think it's that. I just think it's, you came here, you didn't disrespect me immediately, but then there were things that you did which I didn't like. And as a player like Ronaldo, who's won almost everything, and the career he's had, and the level of football that he's played at, the coaches he's been under, he knows what winning is. And obviously when you have players like that at your football club, I expect him to throw tantrums and stuff like that. I'm not surprised by that. But I felt like that's the thing with Ten Hag. I just felt like it was that type of thing. And as for him, I liked what he said when he's like, the reason why he's the GOAT is because he's 37 years old, but yet he's still scoring goals. Well, not this season, but he's still playing top level football because he understands that you need to adapt. I like that he said that. You need to adapt. And people that criticize him and say that, oh, he's finished, he's 37. It's like did you just take your head out your ass? Because obviously someone who's 21 is not going to be the same when they're 37. We age every single day. I like that he said that. It's like, and plus I didn't need him to say that. It's obvious, but it's like the reason why he's the best is because, you know, he understands that, look, talent can take you so far, but then that talent means nothing if you don't work hard. And I guess with Messi, he's just naturally talented, but Ronaldo had to work hard for that. And Ronaldo said stuff like people would, what, he's literally a guy who's won everything. And yet there are people at that football club who don't pay attention to what he says. Like, people don't care, he kind of gives a sense of the modern footballer, even though some of you guys might know already, but he kind of says it, that they're egotistical, that they care about themselves, they don't want to learn. And that's why Ronaldo has had the career that he's had, because he's learned from Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, he's learned from the greats, because he himself understands that he was once, a little footballer, and in order to get to that level he needed to learn, and that's what he was saying. It's like, and when he is 37 like he is right now, obviously he's not going to be playing the same way as he was when he was at Real Madrid, when he was 28 in his prime. He needs to adapt. That's why, if any of you guys know Ronaldo, he was a winger, but now he's a striker. And that's just really what he said, which I liked. I like that. Is probably why he's the best. That's why goats, are goats, and that's why legends are legends, because they understand that, look, in order to be a legend, I need to adapt. I can't keep doing the same thing that I did 10 years ago and expecting it to work now. If I want to be a GOAT, I need to adapt to now. And I think that's why he's still playing high-level football. And as for the club, again, I'm just happy to hear that he said that the infrastructure is not there. So for all the Manchester United fans that give, these criteria for Ten Hag this season to win a Europa League, FA Cup or something like that, I say to these guys, have you watched this club for the last 10 years? If you've watched United since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, you would know that this job is enormous. You cannot, and after the season we had last season, you cannot expect Ten Hag to somehow say that he should win the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Europa League. Obviously, I'd want to win those things, but like, I'm at that point, by myself, where I'm just going to see what happens, because you cannot finish 58 points last year and have one of the shittest United squads in the Premier League history, and then somehow expect to finish top four. And I just want the football to be good. That's my stance. But anyway, the thing that pissed me off the most, and I'll be honest with you guys, I actually struggled to watch those interviews, because it's not because of what Ronaldo was saying and because of the interviews and stuff. It's because of Piers Morgan. Like, I think Ronaldo's a class player, and I think he probably should have found a better interviewer than Piers Morgan. I personally think, look, I don't know the guy. I'm not saying he's a horrible person and all that stuff, but I genuinely thought he was a very crap interviewer. Like, he came across as very biased, especially in the second interview, in the second part. Like, you could see that he idolizes Ronaldo, and everyone does, but you could see that it was just pissing me off. Like, it was just getting very hard to watch that interview. Like, I remember in the second part, he was like, World Cup final, Argentina versus Portugal. If you score 2 goals, Ronaldo scores 2 goals, Messi scores 2 goals. It's like that type of thing, and look, I don't want to criticize him about that, because I understand that football is a business nowadays, and people would rather see a Messi versus Ronaldo final than actually see football teams play good football. People would rather talk about Haaland versus Mbappe, or Bruno versus De Bruyne, or Messi versus Ronaldo, and this versus this, because it's entertainment. It's an entertainment business. I understand that. People are not like me who actually want to watch the sport because we actually like talking about football. But it did kind of piss me off, because this that interview from Piers Morgan, I thought it was really shit. I just thought that there were times, and he would interrupt Ronaldo a lot, like, to get his point of view. it's sort of as I felt like Piers Morgan was trying to make it seem like, you know, just let Ronaldo speak his story, mate. Like, stop trying to get your story out of him. Like, just ask him a question and actually just listen to what he's saying. You know, stop trying to make it into your little thing, because, you know, he would interrupt Ronaldo a lot. He would say that, no, it's this. You know, when you're having a conversation with someone and like you are always you're always agreeing with each other. You know, it's that type of thing. It's like, if you are a journalist or if you are a good interviewer, you would also want to challenge Ronaldo. And I felt like that was very comfortable interview from Ronaldo, you know, from Piers Morgan. Like, I genuinely thought that if I was interviewing Ronaldo, I would challenge him in some questions. I wouldn't just make it comfortable, and, you know, it felt one-sided, you know, for me. I just felt like, no, man, Ronaldo is a class player. I think he needs to get class people. Like, he needs a class interviewer. Like I said the other day, I think Piers Morgan's football, you know, opinion belongs in a bloody toilet. I think I wouldn't wipe my ass with it if it was toilet paper. I genuinely think it's that bad. Like, he's a guy who slates Arteta for selling Aubameyang, and look where Arsenal are now. Like, he's an Arsenal fan, and he hardly knows anything about his own football club. The guy thought we were 2-0 down against Spurs 3 or 4 weeks ago, but we were 2-0 up. Like, and even when we were talking about the Ragnick thing, like, he was kind of like getting his point across. It's like he's trying to put his energy in, you know, instead of making Ronaldo make his own opinion. It's like, yeah, Ragnick, like, who is he, you know? It's like, dude, let Ronaldo speak, you know? Like, stop interrupting him and stop trying to put your own thing, you know? It's like he's trying to get out what he wants. You know, it's like Piers was trying to get out what Ronaldo what he wants Ronaldo to say. It's not what Ronaldo, you know, wants to say. It's like, okay, that didn't make sense. Like, Piers is trying to get out of Ronaldo, you know, like what he wants Ronaldo to say, you know, not what Ronaldo wants to say, because it felt very one-sided from Piers. And I thought that interview was very hard to watch for me, because, my word, I would hate to be interviewed by him, because it was so one-sided. It was really terrible. I genuinely think it was a very terrible interview from his side. I thought you should get a better interviewer than that. It really was shit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. It was crap. But anyway, that's my reaction to that. Like I said, I don't want to react to everything, but yeah, I guess, look, there's no way in for Ronaldo. All I'm gonna say is that he's definitely gonna leave. There's no way you'll do an interview like that and expect to stay, because you can't do something like that and then expect to stay, because if United had a pair of balls, they would terminate his contract. The fact that they're still thinking about what should they do just shows what type of football club they are. You know, they probably want a transfer fee. Like, I mean, do you know football? A transfer fee. Just terminate his contract. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, the guy wants to go. Ten Hag wants him to go. I want him to go. Not because he should. I just want him to go because, look. And as for... And I heard the other day that the players also want him to go. Like, since when do I give a shit about what the players at Manchester United want? Like, even if... Look, I want Ronaldo to go, right? But these players should not be satisfied at all. You guys have not won anything at this football club. This guy has done more. Ronaldo's done more at this football club than what you've done in your whole fucking football careers. We've got a captain who's not won anything. We've got a midfielder from Scotland who gets, you know, who gets a paycheck of passion. We've got a guy in the left wing. He's only at the football club because he's from the youth and because he's got a big brand and he feeds kids. And now all of a sudden, and I'm not saying it's them, but this is just the frustration that I have. But I don't want to make it in this video because it's gonna get too long. But it's just that for me. Like, I don't care what these players think. Like, why are we even asking what these players think? Who cares what you guys think? You guys have not won anything. You guys imagine feeling like you've made it and you are in the worst Man United side in our history. You know, you're not even in the best period. You're in the worst. And yet you feel like you're entitled, and yet you feel there are players at the football club that feel like they've made it, but you've not made it because we've not won anything. Anyway, look, I'm gonna end it there. World Cup is on Sunday. Let's just see what happens. I think I'll just stop with the Ronaldo and all that stuff from now because I think I've said what I needed to say. Not everything, but from the interview, I've said what I needed to say. I've got my points across. That's what I wanted to say. I'm just very, yeah. Anyway, cheers.